The city lights blurred into streaks as Anya Sharma's sleek car whisked her through the familiar streets. At 23, Anya was a paradox of privilege and grounded elegance. Daughter of the formidable billionaire Raj Sharma, she moved with an unassuming grace, often found volunteering at local shelters rather than gracing tabloid covers. Tonight, however, her world was about to be irrevocably shattered. A sudden screech of tires, a jarring impact, and before she could register the danger, dark figures swarmed her vehicle. A rough hand clamped over her mouth, a cloth with a sickeningly sweet scent pressed to her face, and then only darkness. She awoke to the biting chill of a damp concrete floor and the smell of stale air and something metallic. Her wrists were bound and a coarse blindfold obscured her vision. Panic, cold and sharp, pierced through the haze of unconsciousness. "Hello?" she croaked, her voice thin and reedy. A low chuckle resonated from somewhere in the shadows. "Well, well, the princess awakens?" The voice was rough, edged with a dangerous charm that, even in her terror, sent a strange tremor down her spine. The blindfold was yanked off, revealing a dimly lit, sparsely furnished room. Across from her, perched on a worn crate, was a man whose presence filled the confined space. He was lean, muscular, with eyes that held a startling intensity, a dangerous glint beneath a fringe of dark hair. This was Leo, the notorious leader of the Night Reapers, a gang whose name alone sent shivers down the city's spine. He wasn't what she expected. There was a raw intelligence in his gaze, a weary authority that belied his ruthless reputation. "Your father, Ms. Sharma, has a very important decision to make," Leo stated, his voice devoid of emotion. "And you are the leverage."
Days bled into a terrifying monotony. Anya, resilient by nature, refused to crumble. She observed Leo and his crew from behind her fear, noticing the subtle nuances, the unspoken loyalties, the desperate circumstances that often drove people to such extremes. Leo, in turn, found himself unexpectedly captivated by his hostage. She wasn't the pampered, fragile heiress he'd expected. She argued with him, challenged his assumptions, and even, on occasion, made him laugh with her dry wit. He found himself drawn to her fierce spirit, the unwavering spark in her eyes despite her predicament. He started bringing her better food, making sure she had a blanket, even letting her read from a dog-eared collection of paperbacks he kept hidden. His gang members, particularly his second-in-command, a gruff but loyal man named Marco, noticed the shift. They saw the way Leo's gaze lingered on Anya, the softening of his usually hard features when she spoke. He was falling, hard and fast, for the very woman he was holding captive. The turning point came during a tense standoff with a rival gang. Anya, witnessing the brutality and the unwavering loyalty of Leo's crew, saw a different side to him. He was a protector, a leader, albeit one that was dangerous. When she saw him take a glancing blow for one of his younger members, something shifted within her. He wasn't just a kidnapper. He was a complex man forged in the fires of a harsh world. That night, as he tended to his wounds, Anya found herself reaching out, offering a surprising touch of comfort. Their conversations deepened, moving beyond her captivity to shared vulnerabilities and dreams they'd once thought impossible. Leo started to actively court her, in his own unconventional way. He'd bring her flowers he'd acquired from a florist, tell her stories of his childhood, of the injustices that had led him down this path. He wasn't asking for her forgiveness, but for her understanding, and perhaps for her heart. And to her own astonishment, Anya found herself reciprocating. The danger that surrounded them, the precariousness of their situation, only intensified the fierce, forbidden flame that ignited between them. They were an unlikely pair, the heiress and the gang leader, bound by an extraordinary circumstance and a love that defied all logic. The day came when Raj Sharma, pushed to his limits, finally agreed to the gang's demands. Anya was to be released. But the thought of leaving Leo now was a crushing weight in her chest. She wouldn't abandon him. In a dramatic turn, she confessed her feelings to her father, shocking him to his core. Raj Sharma, a man of unwavering principles and immense power,
saw Leo as nothing more than a criminal. The idea of his daughter, his only child, being in love with her captor was an affront to everything he believed in. He threatened to call the police to ensure Leo paid for his crimes, but Anya was resolute. She stood by Leo, explaining his complexities, his hidden kindness, the circumstances that had shaped him. She painted a picture of a man who, despite his past, deserved a chance at redemption, and more importantly, her love. Leo, for his part, knew he had a monumental task ahead of him. He wouldn't simply disappear. He loved Anya too much. The confrontation between Raj Sharma and Leo was explosive. Raj, surrounded by his security detail, faced Leo, who stood alone, a testament to his raw courage. Raj's fury was palpable, but Anya's unwavering conviction, her willingness to risk everything for Leo, slowly began to chip away at his resolve. Anya reminded her father of his own struggles, of the times he had defied expectations to build his empire. She argued that love transcended social strata, that true character wasn't defined by one's past, but by their actions and their desire for change. Leo, surprisingly calm, didn't beg or make excuses. He simply stated his intentions: to leave his life of crime, to work, to prove himself worthy of Anya, and to earn Raj's respect, no matter how long it took. He offered to face the consequences of his past actions, but only after ensuring Anya's safety and happiness. Seeing the genuine love in Anya's eyes and the quiet determination in Leo's, Raj, a man who had always prided himself on his keen judgment of character, found himself in an impossible position. He saw not just a criminal, but a man willing to change for the woman he loved. After days of agonizing deliberation and countless heartfelt pleas from Anya, he made a decision that shocked everyone, including himself. He would give them his blessing, under the condition that Leo truly leave his past behind and dedicate himself to a legitimate future. It was a leap of faith, a gamble on love, and a testament to the power of a daughter's unwavering heart. The road ahead would be long and challenging, but with each other, Anya and Leo were ready to face it all. Their story, born in the shadows of danger, blossomed into a testament that love could indeed conquer all, even the deepest divides.